So, can I tell you something that's been in my mind a lot lately? And I know I've been overthinking again. But you know that feeling, that awful pit in your stomach? I don't know how to explain it, but it's when you just mess up. Do you know what I mean? Like, I know you hit reply all to that email that was definitely not for everyone. Or you try to do all the domestic stuff. You cook dinner, or you clean, or you pack the dishwasher and put things in the wrong place, or that dinner is inedible, right? I know we've all been there, or I have. I know I have. Or even the bigger stuff, messing up those job opportunities, right? That you really wanted. And I'll talk about that a little bit later. But do you know what I mean? It's it's those sort of things that I've been thinking about. It's like we walk around trying to build this impression, this perfect error-free life, no mistakes. But I think we all have these systems and apps to guide us, right? To find out how to do our 5-year plans, right? To make sure we don't mess up in that way or put a foot wrong. I have some of those apps. Just even the weekly planning apps I have to try to do everything and not make a mistake through the week. But when we do, when we are so hard on ourselves, right, because we haven't achieved what we needed to do. But I've been thinking, what if we got it all wrong, right? What if the moments we mess up, the moments that it doesn't go to script, aren't the end of the world? What if they're actually the whole point of this? Seriously, just think about it, right? Hear me out. Because I think those face palm moments, those moments you want to hide away, those mistakes, they were the it's where I don't know, the good stuff is hiding, I guess. I certainly been thinking that. And I have to tell you about this time that I completely messed up. I was just, I don't know, mortified. Just think about it now. It I still get a bit jolted by it all, right? It's it's not a good time. It wasn't a good time. So where do I start? A few years back, I was up for this promotion at work, but you know how it is. Um, I wanted it. I wanted everything. I wanted the title, the whole deal, everything, the big paycheck, everything. I thought it was my ticket to everything, right? It was everything to me, everything I supposed to want in my career. And then the final hurdle was a presentation, right? A big presentation to senior execs. I prepped for it for weeks, felt like months. Um, I had the outfit already. If you know me, you'll know what outfit. Um, White shirt, red tie, black suit. It's my typical interview outfit. I memorized all my slides. Everything I wanted to say had it on point. I felt good on the day. I walked in and I thought, okay, I got this. I really got this. Yeah. I know what you're thinking. And then I think I started talking. Yeah. And about 5 minutes later, my brain decided to have one of those moments, right? Just to leave the building. My brain decided, right, it's time. Let's get out of here. I don't know. I'm not talking about losing my train of thought, right? Because that can happen for a moment or two. But I mean, my brain was gone, completely gone. Not in the same building. It was total silence, just me. I was like a deer in headlights, staring at all these executives and these important people who is going to decide my future, right? Who they're definitely not impressed by oh, my blank look. I know it was brutal. I somehow managed to cross the line and finish the presentation, but in the end, I walked out of that room knowing that I completely blew it, blown it completely. There's no chance at all. And I didn't get the job. It still gets to me to this day. But but I think the weeks after that were rough. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, you got that inner voice, that monologue. You know that one. You're a fraud. You can't do this, right? You can't handle the pressure. You failed at this. It just kept replaying over and over. I didn't know what to do, but does it sound familiar to anyone? That sort of spiral? For me at the time, it was not great. And especially for the people around me, I felt stuck, couldn't achieve it, couldn't do it. And I really needed to do it. I mean, I talk about this over attachment thing in a previous video. A goal that you really want that you can't achieve, and you have this over attachment to, and it takes over your life. Watch it if you haven't. But I know in this situation, weeks later, a funny thing happened. Once the shame, I think, started to fade, I was forced to sit with it a little. And I had to ask myself, okay, so this really did happen, right? But what really happened in that moment? I'm normally really good at presentations. I'm normally really good at presenting the information I know. Um, and I generally don't practice and do well at these things. So what really happened there? And the truth is, and the truth I landed on was I had to avoid being I I I think the truth that I had been avoiding for a long, long time. I guess I didn't actually want that job. And maybe it's a subconscious way of telling me that. I guess I wanted the approval from those people in the room, the senior execs. I wanted to check a box I thought that I was supposed to check, that upward movement in the corporate ladder. But the work itself, it didn't really excite me. Not at all. Not really. There were aspects of it, but honestly, my brain going blank wasn't me being incompetent at all. It wasn't like my entire body was staging a protest. It felt like that at the time. I couldn't think clearly at all. It was the only way to get me to listen, I think. It was the only way to get me to listen. It was massive. It was painful. It was almost a public error that basically saved me from a future I didn't really want, right? It was painful though. I won't lie. It was painful. But that mistake was probably the best thing that could have happened to me. Honestly. Looking back now, it's got me driven again. And I'll explain why, right? It's forced me to get real with myself, but what I actually wanted out of my life. I'm still not 100% clear on that. I don't think I ever will be. I'm looking for it though. But it's a reason started doing this. Well, this year, talking to you, I want to find out, am I alone in this whole thought process? And I overthink a lot. But this is what I'm getting at, right? Our mistakes aren't just random mess ups, screw ups. I think they pretty much signposts or signs to us that give us almost this an honest feedback you don't want to hear or you'll never get. Think about it. Our brain is literally built for this. When we make a mistake, we make that big mistake, right? And we think to ourselves that it can't get worse. It probably won't get worse in that moment. It doesn't get worse, right? Think about it. Our brains are literally built for this, right? When we make a mistake, there's a little spark that goes off, right? I know scientists call it, what is it? Either, what is it? Either related negativity. It's the brain's way of saying that wasn't it. Let's try something else. It's a learning mechanism of sorts, right? We to try to do it again. But we all drown it out with, I don't know, shame. We see a mistake as the final point, final F on our report card. When, I don't know, it's just part of the lesson, right? And there's something that I've seen recently that just makes it sound a bit better. You know that Japanese art of, and I'm gonna butcher this name, so please forgive me, kintsugi, where you have a broken pottery with gold. They don't try to hide the cracks, right? They try to highlight them. The cracks become part of the story, the pot, and it's considered beautiful. It's considered valuable because it was broken and repaired. I'm probably not making sense, but I thought, what if in that way, what if our mistakes are just the golden cracks in that Kintsugi project, right? The story of how we learned, we healed, how we became us, right? So How do we actually do that though? How do we stop beating ourselves up? I think the first thing is to remember that you made a mistake. I made a mistake in that moment. But you're not the mistake. My presentation was miss, 100%. But I wasn't a miss. Is there a difference in that? Was there a difference? Tell me. My presentation was a miss, but I wasn't a miss. And I think then you just have to get a bit curious about it, right? Instead of asking, why am I so dumb and not achieving these things? Maybe I should be asking, okay, what was this trying to tell me? Is it a message from the universe? And I don't normally think like that. But was it? Was it just a clue? And honestly, talk about it. The shame just disappears after that, right? When you bring it into some sort of light. The second you tell a friend or colleague or anyone, a partner about your massive screw up, then it becomes all right, laughable, right? And suddenly you're not alone in this. You can get advice if you need it. You can just laugh it off. And every single person has a long history of this, right? Of messing up. We all have. If you haven't, please let me know. I think those people that do it less learn from their previous mistakes. They learn to fall almost forward, right? So here's what I want to try. Just think about one mistake, one that had a bad impact on you, and you're still thinking about it a little bit, like this one. Honestly, it's been a while, and I'm still a little thinking about it, right? And just for a minute, I think try to look at it like a kintsugi bowl. See the gold in the crack, right? You repair it, you put gold in it, and it becomes beautiful, right? Repaired. I know what was the lesson? What was it pointing towards? What was the sign? How how did it or how could it make your story more interesting? Because that's it, right? That's the work we need to do. It's not about avoiding failure. It's about getting really, really good at it, getting good at failing, right? We all will fail more often than we succeed, right? It's not a good feeling if you think about it. But being comfortable with it kind of makes it feel normal. And it is normal. We all go through it. But hey, this conversation felt good to you. It's something you want to hear more of. Hit subscribe at the button. I'm going to build a little corner that we can talk about this. I want to build a little corner of the internet that we can speak about things like this. I don't think there's enough places we do, and I want to try to give you my overthinking brain and my perspective. And hopefully, some of you relate to it. Some of you can know that you're not in this alone. And I can know that too, that I'm not in this alone. And if this resonates with you, seriously, I'd like to hear how you've handled it. Tell me about a time that you messed up completely. right? That's still in your mind. You don't have to mention what you've messed up with, but just say how you've dealt with it, how you want to deal with it. Maybe it's something current, right? Maybe it's something that you still find hard talking about. Some of the things I still find hard talking about. It's failure. Failure is tough. It's meant to be tough, but I think it's meant to allow us to grow a little more, be ourselves, and allow us to find what we're good at, find our success failure, find our success through failure. I don't know. At this point, I think it's normal, and I think we got to talk about it. I got to talk about it. The real value of failing is not the failing itself; it's what we get out of it. So lessons learned. It's how to fail forward and how to get to the next step so you can be successful after that. Whatever success is. Let's just normalize it. Let's make it normal. I know it's tough, but we'll fail again over and over, but eventually we'll succeed in whatever we want to do. But yeah, thanks for chilling with me today, hearing me out. If you've made this far through my rambling, thank you. And I hope it's made sense to some of you guys. Please let me know. Drop a comment at the bottom. Yeah, let me know. Drop a comment in the comment section below and let's talk about it. Alright. Talk soon. And remember, you're not defined by your mistakes. You're defined by how you grow from them.